Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. In this video we will talk about also the two types of eukaryotic cells, but first we're going to start with prokaryotic cells. Alright, so first things first is you're going to want to write your title here, two types of cells. Okay, as you can see I scribbled a lot. This is why it's important that you use a pencil. At my house, I'm very limited on what I have, and I only have pens. So don't forget to write your TEK. The state of Texas, they want you to know that, well, they want you to be able to differentiate between structure and function in plant and animal cell organelles. All right, so the first thing we're going to learn about is prokaryotic cells, okay? So what we're going to do is we will draw a picture of what prokaryotic cells look like in a second. But what I want us to do is we're going to make a T-chart, okay? So on this side, I'm going to write prokaryotic, okay? And on this side, I'm going to write eukaryotic. Okay, remember these are the two types of main cells. Okay, so prokaryotic cells, let's talk about that for a second. Y'all should have watched the Neva Sisters video over eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. When you watched it, you learned that prokaryotic cells are single cell organisms. They are bacteria cells. And they're very simple. They're not complex like eukaryotic cells. All right, so the first thing we're going to write with prokaryotic cells is they are single cell organisms. Okay, you're going to hear the term unicellular. Okay, they only are composed of one cell. Okay, they are very small. You have to have a microscope to see them. They are less complex compared to eukaryotic cells. Okay, they have no membrane bound nucleus. What does that mean? That means that the nucleus, let me find a picture for a second. So if I look here at what a plant and animal cell looks like, this is the nucleus right here. This is the nucleus. This is for nucleus for the plant cell, and then for the animal cell, okay, the nucleus is bound, okay. The DNA is in the nucleus too, so that means it's stuck in the nucleus, okay. But if I have a prokaryotic cell, okay, I'm going to show you this. You don't have to copy this down. But right here is where the DNA is. This DNA is going to move around the whole prokaryotic cell, okay? There are no membrane-bound organelles in here compared to the plant and animal cell, which are eukaryotic cells. Hopefully that is not confusing. Okay, so the DNA floats freely, okay? So that means that DNA is just everywhere, okay? There is no nucleus in a prokaryotic cell. Example of a prokaryotic cell is bacteria, okay? Let's draw a prokaryotic cell, okay? So when I'm drawing this, you're gonna see it's like this oval looking structure. Okay, they're gonna have bacteria cells, prokaryotic cells. They have this whip-like structure coming off of it. It's like a tail. It helps it move on surfaces because bacteria is everywhere, y'all. It's in the soil, it's in your stomach, it's in your intestines. Bacteria, which is good bacteria, actually helps you digest your food. Okay, there's more good bacteria than bad bacteria. And there's bacteria that lives, and for example, in Yellowstone, in the geysers. Okay, those are bacteria that lives in extreme environments. But there's bacteria everywhere, even on your desk, on your skin, in your hair, okay, in your mouth. Okay, bacteria is everywhere. Okay, so right here is the DNA. Okay, this is the DNA, and I'm just gonna write DNA here. Okay, this is the tail. Okay, now eventually you're gonna learn about a cell wall. Okay, hopefully you guys are seeing what I'm doing. Just drawing like a circle around here. This is the cell wall. Okay, plant cells have cell walls too. Now the cell wall is what makes the cell rigid. Okay, gives it structure. And then the clear gel-like fluid is the cytoplasm. Okay, it's gel and it's okay. And then there's like these little hairs coming off. Okay, and this is what helps the bacteria cell move around surfaces or in water or in your stomach. Okay, basically anywhere. We call this pili. Okay, so we're done with that. Remember, if I go too fast, just pause it and catch up. Okay. All right, so let's talk about eukaryotic cells now. Okay, so eukaryotic cells are composed of they're misspelled that, multicellular. Okay, so there are many cells. Okay, we are composed of many cells, so we are composed of eukaryotic cells. Okay, they have organelles. Sorry, I was about to put organism, but it's organelles, which we'll talk more about organelles next week or later this week. Organelles are bound in a membrane. Okay. It's very large. It's large compared to prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells are more organized. And more complex. They have a nucleus, So the DNA, remember, is stored in the nucleus. So DNA in the nucleus. Okay. So, okay, so there's actually the examples of eukaryotic cells are plants. Because remember, plant cells, we talked about this when we talked about plants, but plant cells are squares, okay? They have a large central vacuole. Remember, DNA is stored in the nucleus, okay? Which I'm not going to label this because you're going to label a plant cell later, okay? That's what a plant cell looks like. It's square, and it has a cell wall. All right, so fungi, okay, they are eukaryotic cells, and animals. Okay, now when I see an animal cell, they are round. Don't forget that, okay? There's common characteristics. Every living thing on our planet, whether it's bacteria or a well in the ocean, they all need energy to survive, okay? All right, let's move on to, we're going to turn the page, and I want to talk about plant animal cells really fast, and then we'll be done with our notes. Okay. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me show you guys this again. All right, so remember, you need your notes, okay? So if you're not taking your notes, you need to pause this and rewind, okay? This is important stuff, okay? So you need to make sure you know the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. The main difference is that prokaryotic cells are single-cell organisms, while eukaryotic are many cells, okay? Prokaryotic cells has no nucleus and DNA floats freely inside of the cytoplasm. The DNA is in the nucleus of a eukaryotic cell. They are more organized and more complex. Eukaryotic cells are plants, fungi, and animals, while a prokaryotic cell is a bacteria cell. Alrighty. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to write your teak again, but I do want you to write this. Okay, plant and animal cells. Okay, remember guys that this is very important. Y'all missed out a lot last year because of COVID and you guys had to leave early, but so all this is new information. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, so this is very similar to a T-chart, but okay, but it's gonna be like a three chart. Okay, so I'm gonna write animal here. Okay, both, that means it's found in plant and animal cells. Okay, and then plant here. Okay, let me just show you what I did on my page. Okay, all right, so in animal cells, they have small vacuoles, okay? Vacuoles is what stores the food and water, okay? And there's many vacuoles, okay? Animal cells are round shape, okay? Okay, so when I think of an animal cell, it's gonna be round. Okay, so a plant cell, okay, I'm going to come right here. It is a rectangle shape. I like to think of it as a brick too, okay. They have a large central vacuole. If you remember when we talk about plants, y'all know that the large central vacuole stores water, okay? In animal cells, they have many vacuoles, and plant cells, they have one large central vacuole, okay? Plant cells have a cell wall, okay? Plant cells have a chloroplast. This is where the site of photosynthesis occurs, and I like to call these the 3 C's, okay? So we're gonna say 3 C's, okay? Okay, so what do they have in common? Okay, they have a cell membrane, cytoplasm, a mitochondria gives the plant or animal cell energy. Now we also call those mitochondrions. Hopefully you can see that. And then a nucleus. They both have nucleuses. That's the power. That is where DNA is stored, and that is what controls the plant and animal cells, kind of like a brain. Okay. Okay, so, and now remember a plant cell is a rectangle, or you can say it's a brick. So the next time we do notes, you guys will take notes over organelles, and you will have two diagrams that are very similar to this. Okay, so this is a plant cell right here. This is a large central vacuole. Here's the nucleus. The cell wall is the most outer layer right here. I have the cell membrane. It allows things to go in and out of the cell. The cytoplasm is the gel-like fluid that surrounds all the organelles. And then here's the chloroplast. Remember, it's always green because that is where the cytophotosynthesis occurs. Mitochondria, gives the cell energy. Okay, and then we have the animal cell here. It's round. Okay, the thing that you notice is the vacuoles are very small, and they have multiple vacuoles and no cell wall. All right, so go ahead, do finish up your notes, and then you need to go ahead and get on the, let's see what you guys are doing next, and y'all will go ahead and start practicing where the organelles belong and the differences between the cells. You will go to the next assignment called Cells Interactive Game. You will have to make sure you enable your Adobe Flash Player. All right, so if you have any questions, email me. Have a good day.